I think the football player stuff. You want to go ahead and...
We can. Yeah, we can. We want to.
Yeah. Go ahead and kill that.
Hey, what's up? It's Eric Debonair, Donnell, co-owner, operator, 2 Geeks and Nerds Productions. You want to start over?
Yeah.
All right. Cause I know it kind of caught you out of I'll go.
5, 4, 3.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Eric Debonair, Donnell, co-owner, operator, 2 Geeks and Nerds Productions, along with my brother and business partner over here,
Black Samurai, also co-owner and operator of 2 Geeks and a Nerd Productions.
And so we got a lot of stuff we can talk about, but we just going to do this quick episode and talk about this. So, and it's blowing my mind because I can't think of the name of the person. But as we all know, there's always some sort of scandal, especially when it comes to NFL, NBA, and MLB. Not necessarily baseball like that, but definitely with the NFL and the NBA, there is always something. So the hot topic right now is Carolina Panthers' own Steve Smith. And I still claim him as a Panther because it's the only Panthers jersey I ever bought. He's probably one of my favorite players, of all time. Even though I'm not a fanatic of anybody, but I did like Steve Smith when he was playing. Cause he was a little guy, and he was a beast, and I was a receiver too. So apparently, Steve Smith has slept with somebody's wife from, I believe, the Baltimore Ravens. And there's a lot of uproar about it. There's a series of text messages, and I'm laughing because I've seen other podcasts, people talk about it, and they're like reading the text messages, and like the dude, so Steve Smith was the type of dude that was fighting his teammates. He's been like this since college, was definitely like that in the pros. I remember many instances, stories talking about him being in the Panthers training camps. He fighting people at training camps. Season ain't even started, and he fighting his own teammates because it's just who he is or whatever. But now, it takes a cake that he done slept with somebody's wife. When it comes to infidelity like that, I get it when people be like, well, you can't be mad at him. And it's kind of right. Like, the wife didn't have to go and sleep with this man. A lot of people were saying, well, what about his wife? Well, guess what? His wife also was sleeping with the guy's wife. So they were in a throuple. You know what I'm saying, if you want to say. Mm-hmm. And then people talk about, well, his wife should, why they was like, well, why wouldn't his wife leave him? Well, him and his wife have been together for, who knows, maybe 20 years or something like that. They have a couple kids together. Mm-hmm. And one of the reasons people say she's not leaving or didn't get mad, one, because she was involved in the situation. And two,
the lifestyle.
She signed a prenup. And in the prenuptial agreement states that if she divorces him, then she walks away with nothing.
So in other words, like most cases, and it's just not athletes, because the belief is that a man with money, his woman will stay around, or in these cases, I'm sure his dude also will stay around because they're in a certain financial bracket.
Yeah, and so, nah. Well, I mean, she's staying because, again.
But they have a lifestyle. So again, it's like the same thing. Even if he's a bad man or a cheating man, I've heard, and I'm not saying all women have said this, but I have heard women say they would put up with a cheating man with money than a broke man.
Well, I've seen instances, even recently where a guy was talking to this young lady, and he was like, what if I had another woman, this and that, because they were about to start dating or whatever, and she was like, yo, I'll deal with it as long as you don't bring her around me. So this is why I know people that happily married, they go out of town on these guys trips and stuff, and I know for a fact they, while they out of town. Now, I don't know for a fact that they wives do or don't know, but I'm pretty sure a lot of these women know. And the thing is, they like, well, he didn't do it here in Charlotte. He did it in Miami or Vegas or whatever with somebody that, because at the end of the day, this thing too, and I'm not justifying cheating because I've been with my wife for 10 years. I've never cheated on her, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. Not to justify it, but people be like, well, as long as they don't put it in my face, then it's okay. And that's why I'm saying a lot of guys mess up. Y'all be doing stuff with people's friends and family members and in the same city.
Oh, yeah, it's called respectively cheating.
Respectively cheating.
That's what it's called.
And the irony of it all is all these people who claim they believe in God or this, that, and the other getting married, and y'all know that it's adultery or whatever in the eyes of the Lord. And even though somebody told me earlier, it was like, you know, God forgives all, yeah, but it don't mean you should just go do what you want to do because of the forgiveness side. But yeah, so they had the prenup or whatever, and I believe this is a fact that this ain't the first time this has done happened. I'm pretty sure that he done something with some other women or whatever, because I mean he's Steve Smith. He a cocky dude. He NFL superstar, you know, ex-NFL superstar. So his wife probably, you know, knew like, yo, you know, he gonna get some buns or whatever, whether I like it or not, because he traveling city to city playing games or whatever. And again, she knew who he married. I'm pretty sure this guy is the exact same man he was when, because from what I've seen, he been the same person since college as far as attitude and stuff and demeanor. It's just that he met somebody he wanted to share his life with and was like, all right, I'm going to have these kids, I'm going to settle down, but these are my conditions on, you know, you being with me.
But do they, though?
What?
Do they, like you just said, they meet this person they feel like they want to share their life with? I was told a long time ago that people, it looks better if you're married. So to be married is good for your image, basically. I guess if you're in the public eye, people will say it about business, certain things. It just looks better if you're married with kids.
Well, if you got kids, you don't want, like, if I have money and I got kids, I don't want a baby mama I'm about to be paying child support to.
Yeah.
Like, I'm damn sure going to, like, marry, you know what I'm saying, to avoid that. Or she going to get a smorshing, as they say, or whatever. And then, too, like, being a superstar like that, like, you at least want to be with somebody that you feel like care about you and got your best interest in hand. Because at the end of the day, don't nobody want to be alone. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there are some people, you know what I'm saying? I know some people do, or whatever. But I also know some people that be like, yeah, I want to be alone, until they get older and they're like, dang, maybe I should have went ahead and did right by this girl or whatever, you know what I'm saying, type of thing. I got a cousin that go, you know, some been through that. But I guess, you know, right now it look like he probably going to just be by himself for the rest of his life. He's fine with that. Because he got plenty of money and, you know, whatever, and, you know, he's fine. But,
well, just for another whole show, a moment of random, I know when I say I want to be alone, a lot of the times, who I say it to, not all the time, but a lot of the times people say, good, stay alone.
That's because they done been through hurt and pain.
Yeah, and most of the time they have,
Yeah.
or not in a current good relationship, just like I had said to someone. You know, they asked, you know, with my mother passing and Valentine's Day coming up, you know, they were like, how are you feeling? And I was like, you know, I said, maybe, you know, just a little bit lonely because it's Valentine's Day, but, you know, with mom being passed, I'm good. And the person was like, oh, well, most people are in terrible relationships. You good. You shouldn't feel bad.
But people married and feel lonely. You know what I'm saying? Like, it happens, like, but it comes down to communication and stuff, too. You know what I'm saying? I know we going off on a tangent. It's a whole nother, you know, thing. But, I mean, it happens. You know, again, this is why I was telling somebody, we were talking about some stuff yesterday. I'm like, it boils down to communication, understanding, and acceptance of who the person is. You know what I'm saying? So, in this situation, they communicated. He said, hey, I'm going to be out here dragging other women. Are you cool with that? Apparently she said, yeah, as long as I get to drag them with you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's the way it looks. Because some people say that, yeah, you can have somebody, but only if I'm in the room with you.
Don't bring no babies.
Yeah, no STDs.
Yeah, use protection, no STDs, and you can go ahead.
Tiny and T.I. do the same thing.
Yeah.
Or was. I don't know, they probably still are, but, you know, it's a lot of couples in the like we were saying, talking about Tiana Taylor and her ex was kind of doing the same thing with Tiana.
Time.
Wow.
At one time, they were inviting women into their marriage sexually only. I mean, they're not together. Some people might say that's what killed it, but from what I heard, it's a lot of other reasons why their marriage ended. But yeah, but again, that goes to lifestyle. I can remember this woman a long time, her and her husband being on a talk show a long time ago. Actually, back when Tyra Banks had her show, and he was a ball player, and she was saying, as long as he provide that lifestyle, if he go out while he on the road, again, on the road, that she'll be fine.
And this ain't even the rich people. We see this in in the Latin and a lot in the Latin, I would say, community. Mug got a whole nother family in a whole other state or country. And I remember when we used to work with your old roommate, and he was telling me, he's like, man, man, they don't care, like they're old school, like he's like, as long as this man is taking care of the house, he working his job, and he taking care of the home, they don't even care if they got other women or whatever. Cause it is different for men and women. Like men, when we love you, we love you. You know what I'm saying? Like, but a man can be with somebody and be detached from them. It's just a physical thing. For a woman, it's a whole nother thing. I'm not saying all women, but I'll say 90% of women, when a woman gives herself to another man, to a man or whatever, it's because she trusts him. It's more than just, what, I want to roll in the sheets with you. You know what I'm saying? There's something bigger than that. Although there are women out there that are just as bad, if not worse than men, studs in particular. But just my opinion, no facts. That are like that. So that's why when a man is cheated on, he like, yo, we heartbroken. We're broken all the way. Especially if you've worked hard to provide and to give this woman every single thing that she wants to the best of your ability. You know what I'm saying? And made sacrifices or whatnot. And now this happens. It's like, come on. And then now it gets out. So, yeah, this is about Steve Smith, but same thing happened kind of with, LeBron. LeBron's mom was letting one of his teammates smash back in the day. And I feel like it was old buddy that's no longer in the NBA. Again, his name flees my head right now. Might be why his career ended, honestly. Because LeBron is an influential person with probably $1 billion or more, or whatever, net worth. At least a couple $100 million, I'm sure, because of all his investments.
I remember old boy, the actor that played, if you remember back in the day with Buffy the Vampire Slayer, played Angel, and then he had the series Angel, and was in Bones. I remember hearing something real brief, that his mistress, after, I guess, I don't know if she thought she was going to get something from him, but it came out him and his wife had an open marriage, then the mistress tried to sue.
Because they had an open marriage?
Yeah.
So she was mad that she really wasn't a real mistress?
Yeah.
Man, get out of here.
People,
fly yourself to the moon. Because it was exciting because she thought she was really cheating, and when she really wasn't cheating,
probably thought she was going to end up with him. She probably did. Because that does happen.
Listen, women, it happens. It does. But what makes you think a man gonna leave his wife and kids for some bun and some fun?
I mean,
and the wife done already said it happens. But come on, man. Like, why would you even want somebody? Like, me personally, I wouldn't want somebody that's like, trying to be with me. You know what I'm saying? Because they're like, well, it ain't working out for him, so let me try to snap, which has tried to happen. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yeah, y'all wild out here. So for me on this end, it's like, why would I even want to, on the way my morals are set up, why would I want to be with you and you trying to mess with me while I'm with my wife? And me and my wife, trying to work things or being happily or married or whatever, as happy as possible type thing. Like, nah, that ain't even it. Ain't even it. Because 9 times out of 10, he probably going to do it to you, later on. Or she going to do it to you. So yeah, the Steve Smith thing, like I said, y'all go look at this stuff, man. Like those text messages, I can't say the stuff that was said through them texts, but Yo, it's some nasty stuff going on. Also, I can't say it because my kids are somewhere in here trying to, play right now. I don't want them to hear me talking about it, but it's some nasty stuff. If these text messages are real, that girl is nasty. And this is why Buddy mad. I can understand. I would be hot. Yeah, what?
Hot over what?
If my wife was, I'm telling you, if my wife was sending this to them and like, first of all, I'll be mad as hell if my wife like cheating on me. You know what I'm saying? First of all,
I'm assuming the other couple must have an arrangement.
No, I don't think they do. I don't think the other couple has an open arrangement. And I only know, like I said, because an open marriage is me, you can just go do whatever. I don't know if Steve and them got an open arrangement. I just know that from what they said, the sources said that there's an understanding, hey, I'm going to smash other women. And his wife was like, all right, cool. Let me smash them with you.
Well, actually, open, you technically...
Open means you can do whatever you want to do with whoever you want to.
But from what I hear, there are a lot of rules set.
Yeah. It's certain things in place. So it really ain't as open. It's openly restricted.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I guess would be a term to use. But yeah, just like I said, man, I can only imagine him saying these things and the stuff he was telling Buddy. It's almost like Buddy found out and see, well, oh yeah, you want to see the messages or whatever like that. Not saying that's what happened, but that's the way it seems.
What would you say to, since you're a married guy, you just made me, this might be a little bit of an extension on this. For people who know who Sean Teagues is, one of those exercise gurus. Now, he is a gay man, has a husband. And I watched them in an interview. And what I thought, and this is just Black Samurai speaking, y'all. This is no, judging them. But they talk about having an open marriage. But what I don't get is the way they were talking about each other. It's like, this is my soulmate.
Why even get married? Or why have it?
Yeah, because they were both talking about, this is my soulmate. This is my person. We met and there was just all this and all that. And we knew we were meant for each other. So they were talking about having such a strong connection and all this and their marriage being wonderful. But they still chose to have an open marriage. So you being married, I guess, that's the part that kind of was like, I'm not saying have an open marriage because I've heard people also say they've had open marriages feeling like their marriage was terrible before that. Then the open marriage fixed it. But I guess about both those things, how do you feel about someone saying, oh, this is my soulmate, we're so this, but yet you got an open marriage, you messing with other people, yes, both of y'all agreed, but also how do you feel about people who said they felt like open marriage fixed their marriage?
I mean, so the last season of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, that's what happened. Uncle Phil and Aunt Viv was going through some things. They went on a retreat, or they went out to get back their spots or whatever. Just so happened when they out of town, they end up seeing some of their friends from Bel-Air that they real good friends with. They all at dinner, and the husband and wife that they saw were talking about, oh, well, we opened our marriage up for us. For us to have an open marriage, and our marriage has been the best ever since. Me personally, I don't want nobody hitting my buns. You know what I'm saying? That I'm having babies with. I don't care how much money I get. I don't want nobody doing nothing with my wife. I don't want nobody holding her hand. I don't want them kissing on the cheek. None of that. Nothing. So for me, I can't see that. I'm like God. I'm jealous. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it comes to that type of stuff, I think it's very disrespectful. Plus, because of my Christian values that I'm trying to exercise. If, in my opinion, if somebody's really all this and all that to you, then why do you need anybody else? You know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, if it's really that deep, and I'm not saying I'm perfect. I've been on a site before and have made some comments towards somebody, and my wife found out about it, and it was just the worst thing that could ever happen, which is why we're in the situation. Part of the reason why we're in the situation we're in now. Did I touch anybody or do anything? No. You know, the comments I did make, I said, if I wasn't married, blah, 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 or whatever. And that was bad. It's not, to me, not as bad as actually going out here and doing it, because I could go out here and do it because I'm still Debonair Donnell, but that's not who I want to be for my wife, for my kids, and for the future of my family or the people out here, you know what I'm saying, that may, be watching. So I'll admit that I was wrong in what I did in my comments and stuff like that. But as far as me, like, there's no other woman that I want to be with. I don't want to wake up to next to anybody else. I don't want to sit down and have dinner with nobody else or deep, conversations, laugh with nobody else. That's just for me. So in my opinion, that if somebody is really your all and everything, why? Like, y'all might as well not even get married. You literally only got married probably because you don't want nobody else to be with that person every day. It's you having your cake and eating it too. Is that concept? You are having your cake and eating it too because he's got the man that he wants, but they also agree that, hey, and it's a security thing. Maybe they're so secure in each other that, that, hey, yo, we can go out here and sleep with other people and it's fine. Call me insecure or whatever. I just know that I don't want nobody hitting my buns. That's all it is to it. You know what I'm saying? Or even buying her things or having conversations with her that I, as a husband, should be having with her. You know what I'm saying? Personally. I think that everybody that's doing it, y'all playing with fire, man. Like, you don't know how clean these people you are sleeping with or how dirty that. Like, again, it's an energy exchange too. This ain't just about, like, brother said, at the end of the day, a nut is a nut. Whether you get it from your hand or another woman or a man or whatever. It's still, what I'm saying, it's the same feeling, no matter how you get it. But it's an energy exchange too, and that's my thing against it, is that when you share the space with somebody and now you're doing it with multiple people, and this is why a lot of women be wondering why they going crazy or feel like they're going crazy, because you might have been promiscuous at a young age. And now, this guy that's a football star and the basketball captains and all these people, they done slept with 10, 20 girls in high school or whatever or more. Now you done slept with them. Now you done slept with everybody else or exchanged the energy with everybody that they done been with. And people don't look at it like that.
And it happens to us men too, so I don't think we throwing all the responsibility on the women.
Nah.
We collect that.
But men are told, as you always say, to be out here and spread your royal oats and this and it, or whatever. Women are told to maintain their virginity and until they meet the right one. And I think that men and women should do that because it's different. Like, you think about it, like, if you with just one person, you marry that person, y'all both only been with that other person, there's nothing else to be curious about. There's always gonna maybe be a thought like, oh, I wonder what it would be like to be with this other person. Versus the other side, you done been with a whole lot of people. Now you done met this great woman, but you chasing a freak from college. You know what I'm saying? Because this person was so good. She did this. She was nasty. Well, why didn't you be with that person? Oh, man, she was good enough to sleep with, but it wasn't good enough to marry. So, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of stuff. Now, I know people going to do what they want to do, but, that's the way I see it. It's like, me, I don't want to have, I'm good on the open marriage thing. If that's the case, I might as well just be a Mac for life. The way I see it. I'll go get my junk snipped. And freeze my boys in case I want to have some kids later on, and just be out here being a fool. You know what I'm saying? If that's really the case. If I really wanted to be out here like that, I wouldn't have married my wife. You know what I'm saying? I could have easily said, you know what? I'm good on that. I'll be your baby daddy. You know what I'm saying? So, to each his own. I respect people's opinions or choices or whatever. Again, as long as it don't affect me. But I'm telling you, fellas, you out here and you get my buns, and I find out about it. It's a wrap. Take that how you want to take it. Oh, there ain't gonna be no evidence. Trust me. And we'll leave that right there. Yeah, it's too many, man. It's too many. Women outnumber men like 8 or 10 to 1. It's too many women out here for you to be going out here messing with somebody else's wife. It's too many. And people be like, well, he should have been doing his job at home. Well, the thing is women want this. They want this lifestyle of I want this, I want that. You know what I'm saying? I heard somebody tell a joke the other day was talking about, Adam and Eve was in the garden and he was like, we got food, we got this, we got that. He's like, anything that we want, we dream of, God instantly gives it to us. She was like, yeah, and then said Eve was like, yeah, I know, right? Like, that's all we got. Like saying, like, this is why they say women are never truly satisfied or whatever. They always want more and more and more. And men, we're givers. You know what I'm saying? Especially the so-called good guys, we're givers. We want to see you with the house, the ring, the cars, and all that because we want to put a smile on your face. We want our women to be proud of us or whatnot. We need to get back to that. We also want our women to, tell us how proud they are of us. And we want them to say thank you for, working hard. Like me, I bust myself to the bone, you know what I'm saying, and back regardless for my family. That's the type of dude I am. You know what I'm saying? Regardless. But that's the type of man I was raised around. My grandfather was that man. You know what I'm saying? So, I learned from a great example of a man or whatnot, what I believe a real man is supposed to be. And I think we need a lot more of that. But I also grew up around a lot of great women. Like, again, these older relationships were not perfect. We have another episode, you know what I'm saying, we're going to end up doing and talking about men and women and how they were and then and how we are now or whatever. I had some great examples of women. Like I said, my grandfathers weren't perfect, but my grandmothers always had a clean house, kept food on the table, and never gave up on their husbands. And those husbands, my grandfathers, always went to work and provided and took care of the cars and the yard and stuff and the children. But yeah, man, it's a lot that's gotta be done.
A lot that needs to, because and again, this is extending itself probably a little bit longer than what we planned, but I also think about, like, unfortunately for me, I didn't have a good example. And even just growing up, there were some of my mother's and father's friends that seemed like they were, but my parents, it was not a good example.
Yeah.
And I saw a lot, and I grew up where adults did whatever in front of kids, and you were told to shut up and stay silent and not to question, and threatened if you did question, to have your butt whooped and all that stuff like that. And there, unfortunately, I think some of it, the reason why we are where we are, is those dudes that weren't good, the grandfathers that weren't good, took advantage of their positions. And unfortunately, just like he said, his grandfather was great. Like you said, your grandfather was a great example and did everything he was supposed to do. And so as well as your grandmother. But there were some grandfathers that were physical, that threw their finances back in their wives' faces, that took advantage of their position and treated their wives and their children any old kind of way. And I think a lot of that resonated, and not being able to talk about it, because you didn't talk about it back then. Like nowadays, people are talking about it. You got people my age, like the last video I said, I'm 50. There are people my age just talking about it.
I mean, look at the movie Fences with Denzel Washington. His character was brutal, but it was because I think the way his daddy treated him, and he was treating his kids the same way. Had a mistress across town. Not only did he have a mistress, the wife knew about, he ended up getting her pregnant. Mm-hmm. The lady died, and then what did during the pregnancy, and what did his actual wife do? She brought the baby home and took care of the baby and raised it as it was her own.
And I think that's part of also the reasons why we have a lot of the issues that we have, is stuff like that. And again, not being able to mainly, I think, talk with it. You wasn't supposed to deal with it. You're supposed to sweep it under the rug and all that stuff like that. So now I think we're at such odds with each other for a lot of things that were also passed down from the parents, not just the actions, but being told, like, you have that angry mom, so it doesn't matter what race she is, then you're going to raise that son and that daughter out of anger. Mm-hmm. And you're going to take out certain things on those children and say certain things to those children So until somebody breaks the cycle, and then there are people who feel like, well, why should I? Nobody did it for me. Like I said a while back in one of our videos, again, makes me think of that Girlfriends episode with William and his father. William trying to get close, trying to get emotional bond. Even though it's acting, it's very real. And what the character said, his father said was, my father didn't do that for me. So what that said to me was, because my father didn't do it for me.
Which means it should be more. If you've seen that it was an issue, there's more reason you should do it. Because everything that my parents didn't do for me, I do for my children.
Because you're choosing to break, like we just
I'm
recently talked about.
choosing to raise healthy, mentally, physically, and spiritually kids or whatever, versus having them disrupted and going through the same things or thinking that it's okay.
And we just talked about that curse breaking and cycle breaking.
Because at the end of the day, it affects the kids. So regardless of Steve Smith and his wife doing what they do, like, can you imagine what their children are going through right now with their parents being in the media as some super freaks or whatnot? Ain't nobody thinking about that though. It's like, I'm gonna do what I want to do. I pay the bills and we do this, so we gonna do what we want to do. But like, ain't nobody talking about how it's affecting these children. And it's not just going to affect them now, it's going to affect them for the rest of their life.
And even if their children probably don't know, their schoolmates.
Oh, they
probably
know. They know by now.
Because somebody knows.
Them kids and showed their video, man, your daddy crazy. What do you mean? Man, look at this. Your daddy talking about dragging this, that, and the other, or whatever. Like, oh, man, really? I got to find out this way? Like, and then, like I said, you see the messages or the text, the other, man. If the other ones got kids, man, I know they like, man, yo, your mom might as well be a corn star now, because them text messages that Steve Smith was revealing, man, it was crazy. Mm-hmm. But anyway, we're going to wrap this up because we keep on talking and talking. I got to go feed my kids or whatnot and myself. So remember to like, share, comment, subscribe if you're here on the YouTube. Go ahead and check us out on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. And just, again, email us at 2 geeksandthenerdpro@gmail.com for, again, any questions and concerns and comments. Last thing I got to say, you got anything else to say?
As far as coming up, we'll be planning some. The weather's getting better, so we'll be planning some. We see you like Purple Hood. We haven't forgotten about Dark Red Crow, but we've been doing a little more Purple Hood footage, so we'll probably be doing some Purple Hood soon. But it's short films and or just fight scenes for filler content. And we'll keep doing the podcast. We haven't decided when we're going to close out the season yet. Trying to get some guests on before we close out the season. But as you can see, doing different things, got a different background. Watch past episodes. See, we started using green screening and representing Charlotte, which we're from out of Charlotte, North Carolina.
Woo woo, as they say.
And probably got some other things I've been thinking about when we did. I put the wrong name, I think, in the Welcome Back video, but I think we're going to call it Into the Nerd. So we're going to see about maybe doing some more nerdy things, do that kind of podcast. And we also are working on, our services, offering y'all our services. So if you are in North Carolina, possibly even South Carolina,
or anywhere else, because we will fly for the right price.
So 2 Geeks is working on that. We've discussed merchandise. So we are expanding in the process of having meetings. And no, we're not playing meeting. Want to make that clear. Having actual meetings in expanding our brand. So we're going to be doing more than just dropping videos.
Yeah, so just give us that love and support, because we always assure it right back. But until next time, we're the geeks, you the nerds, but we all the nerdiest. Peace.